Let's get to Ross Douthat and copium. Mamdani's victory is less significant than you think. New York's next mayor won't save the Democrats. Of course. This should not come as a surprise to you. Ross Douthat is back to doing some shit, okay?
Zohran Mamdani
Mamdani
has been elected mayor of New York City, raising the flag of the far left over Gotham.
Zohran Mamdani is the winner.
Zohran Mamdani is the winner.
And if you
Gotham is actually, maybe Chicago, isn't it? Isn't it Arkham? I don't know.
believe the hype or the fears of his critics, then the 34-year-old Ugandan-born Muslim democratic socialist is poised to remake the Democratic Party, thrilling young voters, mainstreaming socialism.
There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country.
And anti-Zionism.
What's happening in Gaza as a genocide.
And offering himself as the starkest possible contrast to that other New Yorker in the White House.
We're sending in our National Guard.
We do not need the National Guard.
But I'm skeptical.
Doesn't say anything about our
Bro, his Wikipedia page is so fucking funny. Classic Nepo baby media guy. Why the fuck is anyone listening to this loser? Because he's hot. Duh. Why the fuck does anybody listen to me? Because we're both sexy. What kind of fucking question is this?
national politics.
This would be a message, actually, I think, to Democrats nationally as well.
The odds are that Mamdani's victory is actually less significant than you think. In part, that's because the media, still New York-centric, tends to hype New York.
The only part about this that is correct is that the media is New York-centric, and shit that happens in New York gets elevated quite a bit. I mean, look no further than like all the Barry Weiss movements that have taken place in CBS News. Like, that is a byproduct of New York media being super self-interested and hyper-focusing on New York media-related shit, right? That's it. That's the real reason. That's a thing that happens, okay? There is some truth out of that. This race was definitely base boosted, for sure. There is truth to that. Having said that, however, everything else he's going to say here is like, oh, it's just New York politics are different than, you know, the rest of the country. All this shit is like, doesn't matter. The footprint and the skeleton of a successful campaign that can successfully overcome great odds is right there.
Mayoral politics beyond its real significance.
Everyone's now treating New York's mayoral race as if it were a presidential one.
Do you see Mamdani as the future of the Democratic Party?
And it's also because the office of mayor of New York City has tended to be a political springboard to nowhere. We've repeatedly seen New York City mayors, from John Lindsay to Rudy Giuliani to Michael Bloomberg.
Okay, low-key, that's also true. Never mind. He's right about that. But once again, this is a bait and switch. What he's doing here is a bait and switch off the main premise. Because no one thinks that the Zohran Mamdani campaign was significant and possibly a footprint for like what the national party could do to save its reputation, because they think, oh, Zohran Mamdani's gonna be the fucking president. First of all, he's an immigrant, okay? He is a naturalized citizen. He's not legally capable of becoming the president. So that's number one anyway. It would be as stupid as bringing that up to be like, well, this doesn't make for a national party because, you know, no one after being the mayor of New York ever becomes anything, even if they have aspirations of higher office, ever end up achieving it. It's like, yeah, okay, that doesn't mean anything. The national, or rather international relevance of this movement and of this campaign is because of what the campaign represented and who the campaign was able to successfully activate with what policies. That's it.
Hyped as national political influencers, only to flop outside the 5 boroughs. When Eric Adams was elected just 4 years ago, there was a lot of talk about how his distinctive branding as a tough-on-crime African-American moderate,
This is not going to be a city of violence,
might make him a leader for the national.
Yeah, dumb people said that because they're stupid. Actually, Ross Douthat, I don't know if you said it personally, but many of your fucking dumbass colleagues certainly did. The people that you hail as like champions, intellectual giants of analyses were all eating this dude's dick. We didn't say that. I thought, what a ridiculous thing. And guess what? I didn't point to the fact that a mayor is never going to have aspirations of higher office that they can achieve. That's not my, that wasn't my analysis. I was saying that's dumb because Eric Adams is a bad campaigner. His policies weren't good. And he won because it was a crowded primary once again. And there wasn't any there was a lot of leftist infighting taking place last time around. And there wasn't like a significant left flank candidate there. It was Nate Silver who said that. It's probably foolish to think the New York City mayor will successfully translate into being a national political figure. But I still think Eric Adams would be in my top 5 for who will be the next Democratic presidential nominee after Joe Biden.
Democratic Party.
Look at me. You're seeing the future of the Democratic Party.
Obviously, that didn't work out. And all of those figures were at least trying to be centrists or moderates, whereas Mamdani has been elected as the left-wing mayor of a left-wing city. And imagining that that makes him a model for how the Democratic Party should compete nationwide is a little bit like imagining that a far-right Republican elected in Alabama or Idaho is likely to offer a template for how Republicans should compete in swing states. That's likely to be a fantasy.
Will the Democratic leadership learn from his campaign? I doubt it.
I'll say this for Mamdani, though. He's come on the scene at a moment when the leftward wing of the Democratic Party is looking for a national leader because Bernie Sanders can't live forever, and it's not clear that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez
Until we flip the seats in Congress
or any other figure is quite ready to fill Sanders' shoes. So there might be a future where Mamdani ends up getting elected as a governor or a senator and becomes an important factional leader on the left, if not a leader of the Democratic Party as a whole. And that could happen, I suppose, if he governs absolutely brilliantly, maybe even by imitating Sanders' own successful turn as the pragmatic, sewer socialist mayor of the somewhat smaller city of Burlington, Vermont. I think that's the best case for his long-term.
Ross Douthat is the worst kind of right-wing figure because he actually is a well-read one, right? Sewer socialism, what the fuck? No, he's right. God, you guys are literally less well-read than fucking Ross Douthat. He's right. God damn, some of you motherfuckers do not listen to Michael from Pennsylvania at all, for the record, okay? But he isn't wrong about this analysis. It's just he is misdirecting the fucking attention of the viewership, the readership, with accurate assessment, accurate analysis, but leading you in an inaccurate direction by presenting this alternative argument that like the mayor of New York is a tough job, which is true, but like the mayor of New York's performance in this tough job is going to make it impossible for this to be a nationally relevant campaign, when in fact, you are supposed to be looking at the performance of the campaign against the odds. And from that perspective, it's a banger. The campaign outperformed expectations, 1% recognition, 1% approval rating, only a couple months prior to beating out this crowded primary field, and then also destroying the dynastic name of Cuomo once and for all, and doing so while having to combat these forces of capital that were pretty fucking aggressively attacking him.
Political significance. But I still think that it's more likely that 4 years of actually governing New York City will demonstrate yet again why getting elected mayor is so often a career peak.
He's a classic conservative in a lot of ways, completely elitist and not at all anti-intellectual. That's why he's so annoying, and also why MAGA is not a fan of his. Yeah. What is this? Speaking of sewer socialism, there's a candidate in Wisconsin running for governor by the name of Francesca Hong. Yeah, I've heard of her. She was on my stream last month. She's very cool. Current state rep there in Wisconsin. I raised $20K for her. Let me know if you're interested in meeting her. Midwest Mamdani. Yeah, for sure. I will never forget how he thought adventurism meant going on adventures. That is true. Although he is relatively well-read enough to know what sewer socialism is, he did genuinely think adventurism means just going on fucking fun little events with your friends where you go and assassinate people. Like, he did think that. That was pretty funny. Are you sure he wasn't playing dumb? No, I'm sure he wasn't playing dumb. I think he was just being dumb.